Based on the feedback from the True to Life Studios presentations, the main issue that we have, I think, is to do with the headers and the footers. Before we can think about the headers and the footers, we need to have a look at the two different methods of printing first. So I'm going to go to File and Print. When you want to print, you've got mainly two different options probably when it comes to the exam board. So you'll either print in full page slides, maybe not all of them, maybe just one or two slides. So depending on the slide number here, you might just put in slide number 4 or slide number 3, whichever one they want you to print. Other than full page slides, where it has the full slide on the page, you may then be asked to do either notes or handouts. So the notes could be pages like this, or for example, under handouts, 4 slides per page, which is probably more likely, like this one here. So you will have two different types of headers and footers. You would have one for the full page slides, and then you would have a different one for the handouts pages. There's two different ways to get access to the headers and the footers. So in this print preview section here, we've got edit header and footer, so you can get access to it here. And you can get access to exactly the same window by going on the Insert tab and Header and Footer. And from here, you can edit the content of the headers and the footers for both the printouts as it will appear on the slides and the printouts as it will appear on the notes and the handouts. So I'm going to begin with the slide. So if I want a slide number, as soon as I tick that box, you can see the right-hand side box on here has turned black to indicate that it's in use. So I'm going to include a footer as well. I'm going to put my name in there and click apply to all. And now you can see we've got page numbers 2, 3, 4, and we've also got my name in the footer in the middle. If I just check the print preview, we can also see, if we go to full page slides, you can see my name and the slide number on there also. I'm just going to go back to headers and footers. I'm going to go to notes and handouts, and you can see I got page number ticked, and in the header I'm just going to include my name again, my candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and click apply to all. If I go to print preview now and I choose say 4 slides handouts, you can see it's got my name and candidate number in the top right hand corner. If at some point in an exam paper the exam board asks you to change the location of the headers and footers, you can do that in the master slide. So I'm going to go to view slide master, always go to the top one because that's the one that controls the rest of them. So you can see that they're here. We're just an extra point to make: never actually change the content of these boxes here. You can move them around, but don't ever click inside them and start typing and changing the content of those. You want to keep them exactly as they are. So for example, if on the exam paper you are asked to put the page numbers on the left, you'd just be able to swap these boxes around like so. You might need to change the alignment of the boxes so it's in the left hand corner. Other than that, you may be asked to include maybe a header on the slides instead. If that's the case, then you might need to insert a text box instead. So we'd go insert text box and maybe just type your details in here instead. So if I now go to slide master and close, and you can see I've got as a header my name and candidate details in the top right hand corner there, and the slide numbers are now on the left hand side. Final piece of advice for headers and footers: if you try it, as soon as you've done the task to do with headers and footers, check that it's worked, and if it hasn't, undo it, because if you go further through the task it becomes very difficult to try and change it. So it's best to undo it and try and make it work first rather than go further down the task and then try and change it. Hope that helps.